arm of strength. Ain't nobody man enough to feel the pain. And you could be next. You better give respect, cause ain't.
It was exactly 1 year ago that I started this glorious channel. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Gametrollers. I don't even know what to say. 1 year of being on YouTube, doing all this stuff, 30 subscribers, 170 videos later, I have made my debut, I guess. I've had my Batman Year 1 now. So, it's been a fun adventure up until now. I've learned a lot more stuff. It was basically a learning process here too. Will hopefully be a little bit better with the stuff like the editing and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully once I get my PS4, gameplay and stuff will be included, so it won't be just images. In fact, maybe I'll just stop making videos so frequently until I get my PS4. Then I'll just like vomit out videos. But yeah, so today we're doing the 5th episode of the Gametroller podcast. Of course, the anniversary edition, and I have a bit of stuff to talk about. Probably gonna be stretching out over 2 hours. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know, at least an hour. And I have a bunch of stuff to talk about here. So yeah. So first off, I'm going to be talking about WWE 2K17. A bunch of news dropped on the gameplay details and pretty much details for the game on Friday, I think it was. But I just didn't want to make a video on Friday. It was like I made 2 videos the day before. I recorded a bunch of stuff. It was just like I cannot do anything on Friday. But yeah, today I'm here. I'm back, and I'm doing the podcast. We're doing the news. We're talking about the news now. So, I got it all here. So let's talk about it. So, it's just off the top of my head before I read this again. I know there's supposed to be a new promo thing for Universe Mode and My Career, which is like supposed to be like a completely revamped and changed promo feature thing. I don't know. It basically is gonna let you do your own promos. There's no 2K showcase, and there's supposed to be a second submission system that works along with the first submission system. Well, it's a secondary submission system. They haven't really talked about it. And also, like, literally just a couple thousand extra animations in there. I don't even know how you could do that many animations in a wrestling game. It's like, they can't even do that many animations in like any other type of game, like Batman or whatever, but they can do it in a wrestling game. And that just goes to show you that this game, the series, is just above all others. But Universe Mode is getting a little bit of revamping. So yeah, so let's start reading. Let me read the stuff. So with the WWE 2K franchise, this is the gameplay. With the WWE 2K franchise, we are striving to deliver the most authentic and realistic WWE experience possible. The fans have been asking us to truly improve the core gameplay. I sort of have dyslexia, man. It was like, I read that gore gameplay. Just Jesus Christ. A core gameplay experience since we inherited the brand. And we are taking your requests seriously, from controls to presentation to individual features. We've shifted the gameplay experience focus from an arcade-centric fighting game style to simulation-based gameplay, and Dota 2K17 continues pushing in that direction with both improved and new gameplay mechanics. In Dota 2K17, the fans will more than ever get to control the action how and where they want, including competing in the crowd and backstage areas. Our community asked for the return of playable backstage and crowd areas, so we delivered on this request. We also greatly improved the responsiveness of gameplay while also updating game systems like ladders, taunts, and a new secondary submission system. As always, we added thousands of new animations to WWE 2K17, so there's a lot of new gameplay for everyone to discover and enjoy. These are just a few of the gameplay improvements we are delivering in WWE 2K17, all of which will provide the most authentic WWE experience to date. So, coming back a little bit, why is it that they straight up said we're updating game systems like ladders? I'm just like when I heard that, I was like, okay, and then I realized they only said ladders. Like, I find that really weird. Why they didn't just say weapons, but they just specified as ladders. Like they've spent their entire like 30% of the gameplay development time on ladders and nothing on the other weapons. Why only ladders? I mean, I'm assuming there's a lot of stuff they added with ladders. Hopefully, I remember I wanted this way back in like Dota 13 and Dota 12 and all this. It's in Money in the Bank ladder matches. There's always that one bit where they like put the ladder on the ring and on the announce table, and like Sheamus did a power bomb to Sakara on the ladder and breaking it and all that kind of stuff. I really want to see that feature in the game to be able to actually have the ladder like bridge across the two surfaces. So like the ladder to the announce table or the ladder to the barricade. Sadly, you can't really do that on like the ramp side of the ring, but you know, like I always wanted that just to be able to do moves from it, like and then impromptu. Yeah, I guess you could say that makeshift table to just break somebody through. I think that would have been a cool thing. Maybe that's what they're talking about. Maybe they're adding like the airplane spin thing, where like in the old games you could like click in R3 and you could do like an airplane spin with the ladder where you put it around your head and you just spin around like a top and it just like knocks people in the face. I swear there was another thing. I can't remember. Maybe the ladder breaking is gonna be better. Like the ladder breaking in the previous games have always been really bad. Cause like especially with it disappears instantly after you break it. Doesn't just like stay there, and you can't use it as a weapon. I really want for when something breaks, you can actually pick it up and use it as a weapon. So like little bits of the table or whatever. I think that would be cool, but guess not. What else could they possibly add with ladders other than making it break better? New animations, probably better ladder climbing stuff. Maybe like the catch. Oh my goodness, we need catch finishers from ladders. That's one thing I remember they didn't add. They never added catch finishers from like jumping off of ladders. Like those would look brutal. And like when like especially the Randy Orton thing where he pulled the guy's leg off. I think it was Christian or like Kofi Kingston or something like that. Where he pulled the no, it was Chris Jericho at like the last year's Money in the Bank. I can't remember. He pulled his leg off and caused the guy to fall down and hit an RKO on the way down. Like, if they could add that in the game for, like, just as a special finisher. Because, like, they added the curb stomp into the ERKO, so they might as well put that in. I'm just saying. Taunts. Hopefully, there's a lot of stuff talking about taunts. Maybe you could stop taunts mid-taunt. Because, you know, that was always a thing they never added, and like always when you taunted was always like the turning point of the match or whatever, because you would always just stay there in the animation whilst the opponent could just do whatever they wanted. But I guess yeah, I'm assuming that's something they might add. Maybe wake up taunts or like taunts from the top rope and the apron and stuff like that. Like before they used to have that in the SVR games where you could taunt on the ladder. On the top rope and stuff. I'm not sure what else they can do with taunts. I'm really intrigued by this. And a secondary submission system. Honestly, have no idea what that means. Like I'm saying, it's like they separated between like the normal submissions and the finisher submissions. Like one thing that always bugged me is that the like the non-finisher submissions you could always tap out from them. So like there's always that chance that you might lose just from a basic submission and like an an Anaconda Vice or Hell's Gates, it's just gonna be like a surfboard or like something like that. So it was always a really well, a really annoying thing in the games, and hopefully they change that and have like just it be like in real life where it's just a wear out submissions or something. I don't know. Maybe it's like a switch off, switch on thing. So like it just switches between the two systems. So like the tapping system from 2K15 and the other games, or I don't know. What else? Also, crowd and backstage areas finally back. Well, debuting in the next gen games, and I think they still have them. Well, not crowd fighting, but backstage fighting in the last gen version of 2K16. I'm not sure. I didn't check. But yeah, they're back, I guess, and I really find it interesting. Hopefully, they could add more stuff for like the backstage area. And also, apparently, this is sort of spoilers for the microwave thing, but like during interviews, you could just like bash somebody in the face, and you could have an impromptu backstage fight. I think that's a really cool way of handling that. Um, I wish in like False Count area anywhere or something like that, you could just go from like the arena to the backstage, like just automatically, like in the older games. So like you could just be fighting somebody, you could just like send them in the backstage area and continue fighting, and you can like still pin them and everything. I think that would be a really cool system. Also, backstage fighting was always a really like bad thing in the old games, because it was always just like get this guy down to his weakest and then do a finisher and then you win. Like they never really do that in the games in real life, do they? It's always just like attacks and just like fighting and stuff. They never actually do finishers or whatever. They just use like the environment to their advantage. They never actually do like proper moves unless it's an environmental thing. So it's always gonna be like striking and punching. Well, backstage fights is cool. I don't think it'll work that well unless they make it work properly. Who knows? So, I think that's it. And crowd fighting. As I said, false count anywhere. Hopefully that's going to be a thing. I wonder if you're, like, in the crowd and, like, it's still a, you still can get counted out, but you can actually just continue fighting and becomes basically a backstage fight. We're basically just knocking the guy out. I think that's a cool way of doing that. I really wish sometimes, like, with rope breaks and stuff, you could change where, like, in the old games, like in SBF 2010, I remember, when you were getting rope break during a submission, you didn't have to let go automatically. The ref would count to 5. Just like in real life, hopefully they add that back in. So, like, you could be doing a submission or a wear-out submission or something like that near the ropes, and, like, they may be touching the ropes, but you can hold it on instead of just automatically just saying no. Yeah, and also, like, another thing I wish they would do is, like, having where if you're near the ropes and, like, something happens, then if you're, like, on the ropes or something, then the ref would try and push the guy back, like, automatically, not in the tug-of-war thing, but we'll just have to see when the gameplay comes out. Hopefully I'm gonna get the game this year, so, yeah. Also, to note, they haven't said if all of this stuff is gonna be on, last gen or not. Because not having 2K Showcase means you're only going to have Universe mode on last gen. Just not a good thing for the last gen users. Hopefully, I'm not going to get it on last gen. I've made up my mind. 2K16 was just awful on last gen. Like, the gameplay was just really bad. Like, the animations, they have the next gen animations were, like, broken. Seriously broken. And all that stuff. So, I really, really just... why even bother anymore? So they're so bad. You don't put any time or effort into making the last gen version. It's just a slightly updated version of the last game. It's never good, but I don't know. And plus, it's a simulation style. Two things I don't like about the simulation style, which I prefer on 2K16. One, you have infinite reversals, and two, kicking out is like the hardest thing for me. Like, infinite reversals basically means it's just going to be a reversal fest the entire match unless the AI can't reverse a move or I just let the AI do a move. Because it's like I'm a pro at reversing. I know the sweet spot to reverse all the time, except for like finishers and stuff. But it's yeah. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I always know when to reverse a move. So it's never fun because I just feel like there's no challenge or just like, okay, let me get a move and maybe let you get a move and you stupid thing. It never adds a challenge. It's just annoying. There's a difference between adding a challenge and being annoying. That's just being annoying. And kicking out. Like, on the rare occasion that I cannot reverse something, or I let the AI do something and then the AI just takes like a kilometer for a foot or whatever. Like, the AI just is the greatest thing ever. It can pin you off of just regular moves. It can pin you off of submissions. Well, not submissions. Well, yeah, pin you off of failed submissions. It can pin you off of pretty much anything. It's like, I'm terrible at kicking out because like the way the kick out system worked on like the previous games before the little circle and you have to tap it on the area. Like that way I never could figure out, but I don't know. So like I prefer the simulation style over the arcade style, but yeah, just last gen version, man. Good grief. Anyways, next up we are talking about the creation. So WWE 2K17, the WWE 2K17 Creation Suite enables the WWE Universe to customize, build, and share their own unique WWE superstars, arenas, entrances, shows, and more. For WWE 2K17, we added new creation features as well as focused on deepening and providing even more options for existing creation features. For example, we added many more parts, more adjustments, options, and elements like body hair, all of which add to the game's massive set of customization options. Man, I can't read. We also added a full highlights replay system, which allows the players to record video highlights from their matches. The video content can be used in our new creative video feature, I'm excited, which lets players create videos for use in things like custom entrance Titantron videos for created superstars. We also deepened on the create a show feature and added a brand new create a victory feature to ensure everyone can create the most comprehensive WWE experience possible. Whether players build their own worlds or simply expand on existing tools, the power is in their hands. This alone, just this little paragraph I read alone, is like you could take out literally everything else. Except for like the gameplay. Everything else. 2K Showcase, Universe Mode, My Career, anything else. I wouldn't care. But, like, these things right there are just the greatest thing. I swear, like, the creative victory thing is, like, I've never even thought of it, and it's, like, the greatest thing ever. Because now, basically, the victory scene after you win a match, there's a little bit afterwards. And they actually have that in the game now, where you can actually mess around with it and have, like, John Cena's, or, like, Undertaker. Put Undertaker's victory scene on, say, Zack Ryder. That would be the best thing. Good grief. Oh, man. The sight of that, it would just be glorious. It would be Bobby Roode glorious, dude. Like, seriously. But anyways, creative victory is just alone a really good thing. Create a show, I never really understood it because it was a next-gen exclusive, and nobody really explained it. Apparently, you could make like your own designs for like, well, not logos, but designs for shows and stuff. So like the replay like sign thing on the side there, and like the nameplates and stuff that you can change it up with that. But I never really understood. I'm assuming Create Arena is back as well. Hopefully more stuff, as they said, more parts and more adjustment options. Body hair. Because who doesn't want some good body hair? I wonder if they're gonna add body hair for like the women characters like in the old games. That's legit something you could do. You could just put hair on women's breasts. That's ugly. Anyways, I squat for life when I saw that feature. Oh man, but anyways, the highlight replay system's back. So you can the highlights is back now, so you can like rewind stuff and check stuff. Check like glitches and stuff, like pause it and check the glitches like in the old game. Couldn't do that nowadays, which is a shame. But yeah, that's back. So now the new creative video feature, which is honestly the greatest thing ever. They had this in WWE 12, but I'm assuming not to the extent of what they're talking about now. It was basically back in 2K in WWE 12. There was the highlight area, like the highlight replay area, where you could like save things and put it on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. There was a feature where you could actually make an entrance video, a Titantron. And it was basically just having a theme, so like a gothic demonic theme or like a superhero theme. And then there's the like your character, you create a character doing a couple moves or taunting or something like that. Or like doing a special animation that's sort of not exclusive, but corresponding to the theme. So like it was a gothic theme, like you will be scaring the other guy or something like that, and it would just be doing like your special moves, and there's like you could customize the color of like the effects and stuff like that. It was pretty decent, but it never really felt good to be honest. It always felt really cheap. So hopefully they add some new stuff to the creative video feature, like actually being able to properly put stuff in, like maybe even the replay system. It might be possible during the entrance, like in Arkham Knight they added the photo mode where you could pretty much take a photo in any part of the game. So I'm assuming, and hopefully the highlight replay system is gonna be like that slightly, maybe, hopefully, who knows? Because I really like to see that. Just during your entrance, you could like put the video up, and like you doing your entrance in some like bits, and then another thing where you're doing your finisher, like a special move or a diving OMG thing, or like something like that, and hopefully you could do that for the actual wrestlers too, not just the created wrestlers. But I think that'd be a little bit too much to ask. But I think it would be really cool just to keep everything recent, like instead of just having, like Shield stuff for Roman Reigns, you could add like new stuff, like his more current stuff. Like just an example, if we were back in the day in 2012, if he was still in the Shield and you have that feature was still in the game back then, in like whatever WWE 13, and you're playing WWE 13 now and had to create a video feature, you could actually be able to, like, with the new attires and moves and stuff like that, you could be able to update it and stuff like that. Or same thing with Seth Rollins and all that kind of, all those people. I think that would be a really cool feature. So, yeah, a lot of more stuff here. Next up, we have the 2K Showcase. As I said, nothing really much to talk about. Pretty much, I'm just gonna summarize because I know what they're gonna say. Basically, Showcase. The reason why they're not doing it this year is because they don't have the superstars necessary. AKA, they don't have Kurt Angle. That's basically it. I mean, I think he had like one match with like Chris Benoit and another match with Test. But other than that, and like I think the Rey Mysterio part where he F5 Rey into the ring post. Like, other than those little bits there with Kurt Angle, Rey Mysterio, Test, and Chris Benoit, literally you could just wipe all those people out. I mean, except for Kurt Angle. He's sort of like one of the main things, one of the main parts, one of the main feuds for Brock Lesnar. Other than Kurt Angle, not much really. I mean, I did the video. I made a video of predictions, and basically, that's not predictions anymore, okay? That's not predictions. That's how they should have done it. That's legit how they should have done it. Okay, I'm just saying. Just don't have those matches in there. Except for like the OVW one with Rico. Good grief. Anyway, People were just saying they couldn't have the superstars required, so they just decided, no, we're not doing this because it's not gonna be authentic and good enough, and it's not gonna be good enough. Basically, is what I'm saying. And plus, the game, the 2K Showcase was always sort of a one-off thing. Like you just play it once and then you put it down and play Universe Mode and My Career instead, and not 2K Showcase, because 2K Showcase, at least for me, as I said, the arcade style, I don't like playing on the arcade style, so basically I never played 2K Showcase after I finish 100% it, because I just don't like playing the game. At least on the last gen. Hopefully next gen will be better. But I always just do like simulations on Universe Mode and stuff on 2K16, so like AI versus AI matches. So I never actually do 2K Showcase, but I understand why it was there. You know, it had a little extra stuff you could do, a little story element to the game instead. But no, we're not doing it anymore. They're pretty much putting all the stories on My Career. Now, one thing that somebody said, I'm not putting out names, was like, we don't want to have 2K Showcase because we don't want to play through the past. We want to make our future, blah, blah, blah. We want to make our own history, not play through it. It's not exactly a proper, like, a good argument for why you don't want to have 2K Showcase. I'm just saying. It's like, you know, especially for the marks, you know, the casual fans, you know, the Conor McGregor stooges. I said that. Who don't know all that kind of stuff. So, like, the kids who never watched the Attitude Era or don't have the network so they can watch things in the Attitude Era and all that kind of stuff. Like, you know, those kinds of people, you know, 2K Showcase was sort of a really good idea because now they can learn stuff about the past, wrestling stuff, and all that kind of stuff. So now with that gun, we can't do anything. They can't learn. They have to get the network or yeah. That argument sort of fell through, but yeah. So basically, they said instead of working on 2K Showcase and wasting time, which I honestly agree with, they just focus more on Universe Mode and My Career, which I'll be talking about right now. Yeah. So talking about Universe Mode first. First. Tim Curry now. And 30 minutes only talking about one subject. This is definitely going 2 hours. Yeah! So in WWE Universe Mode, we are working to recreate the drama and excitement seen every week on Raw, SmackDown Live, and NXT. For WWE 2K17, we created a new flow that focuses on these shows. The shows are what we all watch each week, and now with the recent brand split are even more important. Our new show presentation system makes players feel like they are playing through a weekly episode of any WWE television or WWE network program. We also added more intrigue and possibilities by incorporating run-ins as well as pre- and post-match attacks. Just like in WWE, we never know what might happen next. Before I read the next paragraph here, pretty much, I don't understand what they mean by pre-match and post-match attacks and like that kind of stuff, because in the old games that was always just a random cutscene that would appear depending on who's a rival of who and stuff like that. So I'm assuming it's not gonna be like that. It's not. I'm assuming it's not gonna be cutscenes if they actually want it to be proper. Because automatic cutscenes are always really annoying. Because randomly Triple H would just come out with a pipe and beat up CM Punk during Universe Mode, which happened in my Universe Mode. Okay, 2K14, look it up. But I just never really liked the cutscenes that much, to be honest, because they never really made sense. It would just be random stuff, you know, and just random people coming out random times for no reason, whatever. I don't know. Maybe that is all part of the feud stuff, but either way, pre and post match attacks and all that kind of stuff. A show presentation system. That's a pretty interesting thing. I'm assuming, hopefully, with this, they mean you could add like your own intro, tying in with the creative video feature. Maybe you could do like you could make a proper like intro for Raw and SmackDown. So you could add like little bits of Raw shows and all that kind of stuff on the sort of intro, and then have the pyro go off, and you can choose what kind of pyro opens the show. Maybe Michael Cole and whoever's commenting in the game, because I don't think they've announced that yet. It would be like, "Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Monday Night Raw. We're in I don't know, Canada." Just random Canada, and that kind of stuff. And then you could have like promo bits and then matches instead of just match. Assuming that's how they're gonna do it, you could actually have promos that could like build upon feuds instead of just having matches. Because this was always one problem I had with like the rivalry system they added back in 2K14 was that it was always just match after match, and would just be match after between the two guys. Like real life, that doesn't really happen all the time. Like you don't see Finn Balor and Seth Rollins just fighting each other each week on Raw, leading up to the pay-per-view. That's not how it really works. So them saying it's gonna be more immersive and more like real life and stuff. I'm assuming they're not gonna. The rivalry system is gonna be based upon like promos and stuff like that instead of matches, or like just attacks or something with the whole pre-match and post-match attacks and all that kind of malarkey. Like, I'm assuming that with the promo system, which they're gonna be talking, I think did they talk about the promo system yet? Yeah, they're gonna talk about the promo system here, so let me just talk about the promo system. Even with all these new features, presentation, and possibilities, we still felt something was missing. Promos. Turn WWE 2K17 will deliver a brand new promo engine that lets WWE superstars express their thoughts and emotions to the WWE universe and one another. The promo engine creates a new dynamic and brings the experience closer to the actual WWE than ever before. That's not all. We are also delivering a completely revamped offering of all universe mode cutscenes, including familiar and brand new scenarios. And collectively, WWE's 2K17 represents the most comprehensive and authentic WWE universe mode we've ever attempted. So, one thing I want to say about this first off. Whoa, I need some water. Promo engine. I remember Denkov said this. This is probably just going to be text-based unless they actually recorded the voices of everybody for the game, which I'm assuming they can't. Especially if, like, you know, it's universe mode. You can literally do anything you want. So you can just randomly have Ultimate Warrior versus Randy Savage or like, all that kind of stuff. So, you're not going to hear a promo from Ultimate Warrior and Randy Savage randomly in the ring, right? That's not something that's going to happen. Because they're dead. Unless, you know, they put the microphone next to their corpses and their the souls, the ever-living souls of Warrior and Savage. The promos. I'm dark. I am literally the darkest. Wow. Anyways, so it's probably going to be text-based, this thing. So, one thing I want to talk about, hopefully for the feuds. Like, I feel like this would be a bigger system, which you would actually talk about here, instead of just saying, oh, we got more stuff like promos and attacks and new cutscenes. I was thinking this would have been a thing that would have detailed out, or at least talked about on here. They haven't even mentioned feuds. I wish the feuds you could have, like, back in GM mode, you could have, like, the feuds be a proper, like, you could actually have the feuds be on a storyline itself, which they did say somewhere on here. Where is it? Where is it? I'm sure they said that somewhere on here. They just talked about cutscenes and stuff. I swear they said that somewhere here. But I wish they would add, like, the storylines to feuds, so like Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor and all that kind of stuff. You could have it be a certain type of feud or something. But if they don't do it that way, at least have it to where, you know, you don't have match after match after match after match, or just attack after attack after attack, or something like that. You could have, like, say, they're actually on commentary, and you could actually have them be on commentary or something, like, not just sitting next to the commentary box. saying that may not be something they do because, as I said, it's going to be text-based, and commentary is not going to be text-based, right? Especially during a match, you're not just going to see random bubbles popping up on screen blocking the action, right? So, maybe that's not something they'll do. Maybe they'll actually be on commentary, but it would be like, instead of them talking, it would just be Jerry or one of the others saying something in their place. I'm not sure. Like, promos, as I said, will be an interesting thing because, like, especially if you're playing as that character, like, that's one thing I wonder if you could actually play as that character, or is it just gonna be cutscene based or something? Especially like in the promos in 2K16 interviews with Renee Young, it was always like, okay, you select this thing, you press this button for this answer or something like that. I wonder if they're gonna do something like that for this game and have, like, say, heelish comment or something like that. I'm not sure, and it would be based off of what character they have. So, like, if it's Seth Rollins, he'd say it's a certain way. Like, it would the script would be a certain way or something like that. I wonder if. Yeah, I think that's how it's gonna be, honestly. And then, like, in a match, like, somebody might come out and might do a promo themselves, and so you can have, like, a dialogue instead of just a monologue, or, third person could come out if it's a triple threat feud or a tag team feud. You could have, like, two tag teams going at it or something like that. I really wonder how that's gonna work. If you're actually gonna play as a character, so you have to select what character you want to do the promo as or something. Of course, you could get attacked during promos. There's also the backstage interviews. At least in my career, there will be. I'm assuming that it won't be in Universe mode. And I also wonder if, say, like, just like with matches, you could have just a promo, or at least just a promo on here. So, say, let's have it set up to where you have the intro play, and then you have, say, a promo or a match instead of something like that, so you could actually, instead of just having a feud match, you could have a feud promo. I wonder if that's going to be a thing where, like, you could have the feud be set, and then with said feud being set, you could have like, the promo be a feud match or something like that, or actually have I don't know. Like, I really want them to have that interfere with the thing, just match after match after match between people in the feuds. Unless it's like triple threats or fatal fours, so you could actually have matches between the characters and stuff. And also, as I said, you could place a promo instead of a match on a slot, just to add more stuff to it, I guess. You could select which one you want to do the promo as and all that kind of stuff. A lot of stuff you could do with this universe mode. I could talk about it all day, but I'm not going to. So next up we have My Career. My Career also gets some exciting new features for WWE 2K17. We incorporated the new promo engine so superstars can express themselves to the WWE universe, and also call out or respond to other WWE superstars. Backstage interviews with Renee Young will take a new dimension with our new backstage brawling gameplay. Now more than ever, how a player competes, reacts, what is said, and even what attire is worn can make a difference in a superstar's journey through the WWE. At some point, players are also likely to come face to face with Brock Lesnar and his advocate Paul Heyman. What happens when confronted by this imposing duo will greatly shape a player's future career growth in WWE. So, let's talk about this for a second. First off, promo engine on here is going to be really good, and the whole call out or respond thing on here makes me think they're going to add a lot more. Like, probably they're going to add social media back, or at least add social media where it's not just followers on Twitter, whatever, just followers on social media. You could actually follow or check the other wrestlers' social media. So if, say, a certain wrestler, like somebody you have beef with or something, like in the whole like feud thing system from 2K16 where you could annoy or you could antagonize or make somebody else happy during a match. Could add you could add something to that. What was I saying? Oh, I was thinking about how warm this place is. Good grief. I was talking about social media. Well, basically, you could have somebody say something on Twitter if you have beef with them, or if you have like coolness with them. I don't know if you're cool with somebody, or if you have beef with somebody, they will react on social media. And so, if you're doing a promo, you can actually say what you talk about said thing during a promo. I assume that's something they could do, so that could start feuds. Also, as I said, maybe instead of just having to attack this dang phone, man. Anyways, so back. Let's talk about initiating feuds. So instead of just attacking somebody during their matches or like during your entrance, you hopefully could attack them during their victories scenes, attack them during their promos. Like if somebody's doing a promo, like you could see it on the schedule or whatever, you can click on it, say attack, and then you can interfere during the promo or something. Maybe do your own promo, like a counter promo, or just straight up attack them. I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, and also backstage attacks. Pretty much, instead of just initiating feuds via attacks, you could initiate feuds via promos. I think that's what they could benefit from, this promo engine. Of course, as I said, it's probably like sort of Telltale, but only with text, no voice acting. So maybe a couple people will probably have voicing, like Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar. They definitely have voice acting in the game. So, and of course, your character always has voice acting. I think that's it for my career. Yeah, one thing I wish it would add in my career is be able to play as a female character. I think you could do that in the last game, I'm not sure. Actually play as a female character so you could go after the women's championship or something like that. Or just have different my career save files or something so you could switch between them. Or just have like your male wrestler and then your female wrestler as sort of like a second thing so you can switch to between them on the fly. I think that'd be a cool thing. Okay, another thing. They said how a player competes, reacts, what is said, and even what attire is worn can make a difference in a superstar's journey for WWE. Now, what I think by this, I'm gonna talk about the attires first off, because attires, man. I want them to. I think the system is if you have a certain attire for too long, the crowd will sort of start losing interest in you because you're just the same thing. You have the same gimmick, right? So just with a change of attire, you'd like not too soon, but at the same time not too late. So you can't like change attires 1, 2, 3 each week or something or each show. Maybe you could, and it just put and keeps your fresh meter at the thing, and also maybe like sort of a nostalgia thing. So if you have an attire, like you go back to a certain attire from beforehand, you could get that. Like a certain attire from, like if you wore attire, your first attire, like say your NXT attire, and then you go on the main roster, have 2 different attires after that, and then you go back to your NXT style attire. The crowd would sort of react to that in a way because nostalgia. You going back into the good old days. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Also maybe sort of change it during heel and face runs. Who knows? Competes. The whole competes thing. I think is just the thing from last year. So like the rating from last year, but maybe with a bit of a not an overhaul, but a bit of a tweak here and there. Reacts, I'm assuming this is just from like the promos and stuff to like crowd reactions or something like that. I'm not sure. What is said, of course, as I said, promo. So if you say something during a promo, the crowd will start booing you and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's it for that. And then we get into just the final paragraph. The above is a select a list of the improvements and additions we're making for WWE 2K17. There's a lot more to discuss in the near future, from the features above to online to all other components we know you'll ask about. And we will get into more details as we get closer to the game's release. We're excited to start sharing what we are doing with the game and look forward to letting everyone in on all the exciting things in store for Dota 2K17. After all, the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar is waiting for you in Suplex City. And after that, they say the roster is bigger than last year, so yeah. So that's really it. I sort of gave my thoughts and opinions on all these things. So yeah, that's it for the 2K17 bit of the show. So next up, we go on to my second topic, which is Insomniac Marvel. Now, Insomniac Marvel is, I'm assuming, going to be the series of Marvel video games made by Insomniac. It's starting with Spider-Man PS4, and rumor has it, if Spider-Man PS4 does well or something like that, Insomniac will make more games with more characters and stuff like that, and hopefully it will turn into a proper shared universe series sort of thing, where you could have like Avengers and all that kind of stuff. I'm assuming they won't get the rights to X-Men unless they actually ask for Fox to sort of pitch in and sort of have the universes blend that way instead of on film. I'm assuming like that. Well, it'll get Fox some more money, and it'll get Marvel some more money. I'm assuming so. Yeah. Having, like, say, Spider-Man being with Deadpool, you know, or Spider-Man with Wolverine, or the X-Men and Avengers teaming out to fight somebody, you know, all that kind of stuff. But that's money makers. That's pure money makers. So I'm assuming that would be good for Fox and Marvel on their own, and, you know, as a coalition. So, of course, whoa, I just ate some food. So, of course, they're starting off with Spider-Man PS4. A lot of stuff they've added in Spider-Man PS4. There's a new parkour system in the game, which is going to be, honestly, a really fun little thing to watch. It's so fun to watch, Mario. So, yeah, there's a new parkour sort of system. There's supposed to be better web slinging and web crawling, hopefully. Environmental combat. Now, that was sort of a thing in the Amazing Spider-Man games, where it was just like, you see that dumpster there? If you press R1, he'll throw that on one of the other guys via cutscene. Like, I don't feel like that would be a sort, like, I don't know. What kind of environmental combat? Like, say, when Batman in the Arkham games jumps off the wall and does, like, a DDT. Well, no, not a DDT, like a tornado kick, like a tornado drop kick to somebody via jumping off the wall. Or, like, when he does the DDT to the wall on somebody, or just straight up slams them onto the wall. Like, all that kind of stuff, that's what I consider environmental combat. It's not like, pick up this bat and bash somebody over the head with it. That's not how. That's not what I consider environmental combat to be like. Just, you know, be able to, like, jump off the walls using your parkour to do moves and all that kind of stuff, you know. I feel like that's what they should do. Of course, the enemy, the main villain, some people consider is Mr. Negative, because there's, like, a restaurant or some place called Feast in the trailer. Of course, the enemies that you fight look like Mr. Negative enemies. Apparently, I don't know. Not that big of a. Well, I'm not that deep into that kind of stuff. Like, I know about Condiment King, but I don't know about Mr. Negative. Go figure. What else? What else is there? So yeah, I'm assuming maybe sort of Iron Man will pop up here and there. Maybe, I don't know. A lot of stuff here. It's not based on the actual movie stuff, like on the actual movies, but yeah. I will do a proper concepts video of it, and doing proper news videos on it as well. Just, you know, because after Telltale Batman, Spider-Man PS4 is sort of the main thing on my agenda to sort of focus on. So yeah, of course, they made Sunset Overdrive, Ratchet and Clank, and Resistance. So, you know, this would be a really cool little thing to do with them. As I said, I'm not that I will do its own video on Spider-Man PS4, but now we're talking about the actual series. So after Spider-Man PS4, I'm assuming they might branch off and have Iron Man or maybe Daredevil after this game. Iron Man, I swear, hasn't had a good game ever. The last Iron Man game I can remember that's not Disney Infinity or Lego Marvel. As I said, Marvel games are not doing well. I think with this with Spider-Man PS4, Marvel games will actually get their own Arkham series, if you know what I mean, like the revolutionary, amazing thing. The last good Iron Man game I can remember was Iron Man 2, which was made by Sega. It was on PlayStation 3 and all that. I cannot remember that game at all, and I'm assuming it wasn't that good. Um, Maybe it was. Who knows? I would have to. I'll actually have to look up some gameplay on that game, but it just didn't feel like it was a good game. Honestly, like not that many people talk about it and everything. I just really want a good, like, straight up open world Iron Man game. I really want it. I really want it. Who the main villain is? As I said, I'm not that big of a Marvel buff. Will it be a team up game with Spider-Man? Hopefully. So that would be nice. So apart from Iron Man, we could have Captain America, of course, do the whole sort of series thing. They say it's gonna be original story, so not based on the MCU. Possibly based on a comic, but not MCU. So I'm assuming they're not gonna do like the first Avenger or anything like that. Maybe they could pull it off, or maybe just put all those three things together in one game. Who knows? Of course, there's a Avenger game looming. Now, let me just list out all the games I want. Of course, Spider-Man's coming out. You have Iron Man. You have Captain America, which I remember a really good Captain America game was Captain America First Avenger or Super Soldier, or whatever it was called. Let me check. Captain America Super Soldier. Yeah, that okay. Came out back in 2011. Made by Sega as well. It was honestly really good. I really think it was really good. Of course, there's a lot of improvements you can make for this game. A lot of improvements. Of course, the combat could be overhauled. You could actually have shooting, because Captain America, he shoots, right? He's a soldier. He's not Batman. He doesn't throw his shield all the time. That's what the MCU wants you to believe, but the man actually can use a gun. So I feel like him using a gun for the game would also be really good instead of just his shield. A lot of other things too. So yeah, then of course, as I said, Daredevil, Iron Man, Captain America. If they can get Fox a Wolverine, Deadpool game, obviously, and of course X-Men. Avengers is another game. Maybe like do the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. thing, like with Ultimate Spider-Man, what they're doing, and have that be like a sequel where Spider-Man, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, White Tiger, maybe some other people gang up to take on some threats in New York. That would be a really cool thing. I'm assuming, since people say that Spider-Man PS4, the villain is going to be Mr. Negative, I'm assuming they're not going to go like really famous Spider-Man villains for these series. Because, like, if they have Mr. Negative, like, the chances of Green Goblin, Lizard, Doc Ock, Venom, Carnage, any of those people to appear in the sequel, because I'm assuming they're gonna have to make a sequel. You can't just have one Spider-Man game. Come on. But, yeah. Another part of the Spider-Man PS4 is, of course, you can play as Peter Parker as well as Spider-Man, so you could actually do like the whole reporter thing, which I think would be a really cool way of doing it. I really want them to do like having the alter egos be a part of the gameplay too. Like a Batman Bruce Wayne, have Bruce Wayne do stuff, have Superman be like the reporter part as well. Of course, it sort of did that in Telltale, but it's of course a Telltale game. It doesn't really feel like a game. It's just a movie. What else? Like Hulk, have a Hulk game where you play as Bruce Banner and doing like experiments on stuff and all that, trying to find a cure for the Hulk problem. I think that would be a really cool thing. Whatchamacallit, concept of just having a Hulk game where you're the Hulk and you're destroying the city and causing damage and all that stuff and killing people, and it sort of takes a toll on your morale, whatever. And basically, when you calm down, you go back to work as being Bruce Banner and trying to find a cure for the Hulk problem. And eventually, over many experiments, you can actually find the cure, and then you win the game after you find the cure and stop being the Hulk. I think that would be a cool thing. Or say you fail and just you turn into the Hulk all the time as like a second evil ending, I guess. That would be really cool. As I said, a Hulk game. A 4 game. I really want a 4 game. Of course, Hawkeye and Black Canary, as I said before, like sort of an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. sort of game. With maybe have Spider-Man, all that kind of stuff. Nick Fury, just play as Nick Fury. Oh my goodness, just straight up like a third-person shooter stealth. Basically, Deus Ex. That's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to say. Deus Ex, right now. What else? What else could they do? Black Widow, Guardians of the Galaxy also. Like I think Guardians of the Galaxy would work really well as well. A lot of things they could do. A lot of things that they could do. As I said, I'm not that big of a Marvel buff. I mean, I know a lot about Spider-Man. I watched the animated series, like the 90s animated series. I watched pretty much all the Spider-Man movies except for Amazing Spider-Man 2 because that movie is atrocious. I saw like the first 30 minutes of it. I just could not watch the rest. It's just like, nah, I cannot do this. Amazing Spider-Man 1 I actually liked. Spider-Man 2, I don't know what happened. Like, what happened in between those things. What? I don't know. I just don't know. I've seen Avengers. I've seen Age of Ultron. I've seen Winter Soldier. I've seen Ant-Man quite a few times. I think that's the movie I've seen the most out of the MCU. I've seen the first Iron Man. It's sort of blocky in my memory, but I remember seeing it. And I remember seeing the 2008 Hulk movie. Other than that, I haven't really seen any of the MCU movies. Purely because I can't go to the theaters. So I have to wait for it to either go on cable or for me to get it on DVD. So, yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff they could do with these games. I'm not going to really speculate about the gameplay element of it because I honestly, I'm not really prepared for that. Like, I haven't written a proper page about how the gameplay could work and everything like that. As I said, there's parkour and then the combat. I wish the combat would be a little bit more grounded, not like super arcadey. But I'm assuming since this is Insomniac, it's gonna be arcadey. But I just really want some grounded gameplay. I mean, I say grounded. Like, what I mean by grounded is not like, say, in more like realistic Arkham gameplay where you're not jumping all over the place, like literally just floating across the map just to punch somebody, you know? Not like that. A little bit more like slow, but and like proper kicks and stuff. But and also non-arcadey by meaning of like the enemies actually properly react and all that kind of stuff. But that also doesn't seem to be the case because of the trailer. What else is there? What else? Yeah, that's honestly all I have to talk about. Of course, since this is gonna be an open world game, hopefully the other games will be open world. Maybe, I do not know. Maybe they do like an Avengers, like redo the Avengers, but in game form. That would be open world, like the last bit be open world across New York, and you're basically just fighting the aliens all the time and trying to. I don't know. I really it was just like just try and stop damage from happening while Black Widow and the scientist guy fix the staff, and yeah. So that's it for the Insomniac Marvel bit. As I said, I'm not gonna delve into that. Those sort of things are their own video. If you're talking about the gameplay and all that kind of stuff, what I want from the gameplay and everything. So yeah, but next up, we're moving on to the DCEU. So so far, Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and Suicide Squad are the only movies coming out in the DCEU that has come out. We have Wonder Woman, Justice League, Flash, Aquaman, Shazam, uh, Justice League 2, Cyborg, Green Lantern Corps, the solo Batman movies, which they're supposed to be free of, the Man of Steel 2, which they announced just this week, I believe, and two untitled films. Those are all the movies we have confirmed so far. Then there's supposed to be a Justice League Dark movie. Let me check. Justice League Dark. There's supposed to be a Lobo movie. Ooh, that'd be nice. There's supposed to be. There's supposed to be a Suicide Squad 2. There's supposed to be a Harley Quinn movie. And a Booster Gold movie. And before there was a Green Arrow movie, a Swamp Thing movie, and a Hawkman movie planned by DC, but apparently it was just they sort of stopped on those things. It's a real shame. I would enjoy those kinds of movies, but of course we have Arrow, so yeah. So with all that, DCEU is looking really, really good. But there's some things that I have to talk about. Of course, as I said beforehand, there's there's what am I calling? In a Facebook group, I wrote an entire thing, a paragraph of me talking about how they're doing the DCEU a little bit too much like Marvel at the moment, because you had just a couple movies just to set up the universe and just also get you familiar with how the characters are going to be like. Then you have the immediate team-up movie. And then you have just a little solo movies for the rest of the characters before doing the sequel. There's apparently supposed to be just 2 Justice League movies. Honestly, that irks me, because there's so many characters, so many things you could do with a Justice League, like with the Justice League instead. You could have sort of a crime society or what was it called? Injustice League thing with Lex and Joker. You could have like an Elseworld story where you go into another universe and fight like the Justice Lords or Superman from Injustice. Or there's so many things they could do with Justice League instead of just doing Darkseid. I mean, there's Anti-Monitor, there's Brainiac, there's Imperiex. Like, just those 3 characters deserve Justice League movies on their own. Like, I just feel like they're just doing Darkseid. Marvel, you could say, okay, well, Marvel, they're just doing Thanos. First off, Marvel, they don't really have that many big, like, not Justice League, Avengers-worthy villains. Like, Doctor Doom is on is Fox property, right? What else? Galactus, also Fox property, I'm assuming. Is Galactus sort of a X-Men thing? If it is, then obviously that's Fox property. If it isn't, then they still have Galactus they could do, right? Doesn't seem like they're gonna do it. Just saying. I don't know. There's a couple they could do. Like, of course, Ultron. They did. So Ultron's out, right? Like, the main villains of Marvel, at least to my knowledge, as I said, I'm not a big Marvel buff, is Galactus, Thanos, Doctor Doom, Ultron. Like, those are the big 4, and then just add like a little 1 there. I don't know, like Sinister 6 or whatever. I don't know. Like DC, they have Imperiex. They have of course, Darkseid. They have Anti-Monitor. They have Brainiac. They have. I'm saying Mongo. Maybe Mongo's more of a Superman than Justice League villain, but still, Mongo is pretty big, right? Like, there's a lot of super powerful people they could have their own movies on, but instead of just doing Darkseid at the moment. I mean, unless they continue on for like during the 2020s all the way to like maybe the 2030s, maybe, of continuing to do these movies, because there's so much rich lore. Especially if like Marvel, they should do the same thing. There's so much rich lore. Of course, they can't do a lot of it because what you want to call it? A lot of the characters are Fox, so unless they could just do a coalition with Fox, that's what I really want. Just a Galactus movie where Apocalypse too was one of the big five. A Galactus movie paired with some other powerful character like an Ultron 2 or something, and have them two team up, and then you have X-Men and Avengers teaming up to take them on, or just a straight up Hydra and whatever else. House of Mutants, whatever it was called, I can't remember. The X-Men, like, like the supervillain team that's for X-Men, like, whatever. Like, Spider-Man, there's a lot of characters they can use. From what we know, Michael Keaton is going to be playing... What was his name? Not Scorpion. A bird. Vulture! There you go. He's going to be playing Vulture in Spider-Man Homecoming. At least that's the rumor. So Vulture might be the main villain of Spider-Man Homecoming. As I said, you could do your small characters, your small villains, but at some points you have to introduce the bigger characters. And Marvel, they have a lot of bigger characters. They have all the Spider-Man main villains, and of course, Spider-Man could just have a bajillion movies, like especially after the universe is done. The Infinity War is done. You can do a bunch of Spider-Man movies, right? I mean, they have Miss Marvel coming up and all that. Like DC, at the moment, you're gonna see pretty much all the characters that are gonna be in there, except for Shazam and Green Lantern, immediately in Justice League. Like, I mean, Martian Manhunter, I'm assuming is Martian Manhunter is on the on Supergirl, and I'm assuming they don't want to mesh the two universes together that much, really, because there's a lot of things that they don't want to do. I mean, they won't mesh to the cinematic and the television universe. They don't want to mix up Teen Titans in there, because if Teen Titans were on here, just saying about 3 Teen Titan movies, just out of the blue, just like that, right? I mean, like, there's so much stuff they could do. Legion of Doom, all that. Instead, they're just doing Darkseid and then the solo movies. It's like, yeah, I mean, first off, I'm gonna just speculate about the main villains of the upcoming movies. Wonder Woman, I'm assuming, is gonna be Ares. Of course, you gotta have Ares. Like, seriously, I think maybe good for a sequel too. Cheetah, I don't feel like she deserves her own movie. Like, she could be a side villain that teams up, or like her own thing, maybe, like that. Like Electro and Green Goblin, I don't think they teamed up in Amazing Spider-Man 2, but they were their own thing, right? Of course, Justice League has Steppenwolf. The Flash, I'm assuming it's gonna be either Reverse Flash, Captain Cold, or maybe the Black Racer, or maybe he could do they could do Flashpoint with Flash, but they're doing that in the television show, so I don't think that would work really. What else could they do with Flash? We're not that big of a Flash buff. Gorilla Grodd is another thing they could do. Yeah, there's a few things they could do with Flash, as I said. Aquaman, of course, they confirmed it was Black Manta, just this week again. Well, the previous week. I'm recording this on Sunday, if you haven't noticed. So, if there's any news that drops on Monday, or aka today, then I'm sorry, but I don't know. It's a day in the past, I'm just saying. You have Shazam, obviously going to be Black Adam. Justice League 2, either they're going to actually do what I said and actually have somebody other than Darkseid in Justice League 2, and then have Justice League 3 and 4 be dedicated to Darkseid or another character after Darkseid. Cyborg. Now, Cyborg is an interesting thing, because Cyborg, he's not really his own character, at least in the comic books. He's either part of the Justice League, or he's always part of the Teen Titans. He's never been his own character, really, because he's always been part of teams, like, immediately during his introduction or whatever. Like, at least one villain they could have is, like, Atlas. I remember there was Atlas, this robot guy, alien guy or something, from the Teen Titans show, where basically Cyborg beat this guy in a video game, and Atlas was like, "I want a rematch," and Cyborg was like, "Sure," and then he teleported Cyborg or something like that to this like arena, and they basically had a fight. It was basically trying to get Cyborg to get to his whatchamacallit, get stronger, basically. Try and surpass his limits. Basically, that was sort of the goal of the episode. So, like, maybe they could have Atlas be, like, the main villain of the Cyborg movie. Deathstroke is another character. I mean, like, the only villains you can really think of are, like, Teen Titans villains. Unless they actually just say, okay, we're not doing Cyborg, we're doing Teen Titans instead. Unless they do that, or at least Titans instead of Teen Titans. But since he's already part of the Justice League, I'm assuming he's not gonna leave. Or maybe he's gonna leave. Maybe he's not gonna die. I don't know if this is gonna be a prequel or not. Oh my god. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Cyborg, he doesn't really have his own villains. He's not a solo character in the comics. Unless they try and take a villain from Teen Titans, or it's like a team-up movie. You know, like Deadpool, he teamed up with, the big Russian guy that turns into metal. That guy. And, Super Sega Teenage Mutants. Yeah. Like, unless it's sort of like a team-up movie between them. Probably not gonna happen. Probably not gonna happen like that. Really wish they would have a Teen Titans movie. I really wish they had the rights and there wasn't that embargo or whatever to not have Teen Titans on a DC movie. But yeah. Anyways, next we have Green Lantern, of course. Gonna be either Atrocitus or Laura Fleas, because we already did Sinestro. And rumor has it that Green Lantern, the original one, was supposed to be part of the DCEU. Of course, since that movie got bombed, like nuclear weapon bombed, DC decided that's not part of the canon. It was just its own thing. But, you know, seeing how bad the reviews for the current movies are in the DCEU, we could say that is part of the DCEU. So we've already done Sinestro. Might as well do Atrocitus or Laura Fleas. Necron is his own villain. You can do him later, you know. He's basically the equivalent of a Justice League villain. That's how strong Necron is. So having him just be the first Green Lantern movie would kind of be insane. So yeah, but that's really it for like the confirmed movies. That's what I think the villains for those will be. Justice League Dark, I have no idea. I mean, spoilers. Enchantress died in Suicide Squad. And I honestly feel like they should have put her in Justice League Dark because of the whole magic and occult stuff thing. Like, maybe Trigon. I don't know why. I think Trigon would do well. Because, you know, add Raven on there. Add Raven to Justice League Dark because she's a sorceress. So, like, add her there. And then have Trigon come for the portal. Or something like that. I don't know, but there's not that many villains. I don't know many villains for Justice League Dark, to be honest, but it's not even like properly confirmed that will be a movie. But yeah, I really don't understand how Justice League Dark can work. So yeah, I would actually have to check the film. What's the film? A group of outsiders band together to take on supernatural threats that the Justice League may be powerless against. That's the premise for the Justice League Dark animated movie. Etrigan. Isn't Etrigan a villain? Anti-hero. I don't know. Well, darn. Anyways, I honestly don't know what villain they could use for Justice League Dark. Man of Steel 2, it's supposed to be like Lex Luthor. Um, if they go the route of Lex Luthor creates things so that they can fight Superman, like back in the other old Christopher Reeve Superman movies, probably Metallo or Bizarro. Bizarro, I feel like, was a missed opportunity because unlike um, Bizarro, Doomsday was his own character. Like, he wasn't just a clone or just like the zombie-fied version of a dead character. Like, I feel like they really did that too early. Killed off Superman too early. Like, they could have done that in this movie. Have Doomsday pop up and Superman has to go and save the day. But they put him in Batman vs Superman. I really wish they would have done like he would have been Bizarro, you know. But I guess there wouldn't be the whole Trinity thing. Like the three of them wouldn't have to team up to take on just Bizarro. But yeah, so you wouldn't have that cool moment in the movie. But I don't know. This is why I feel like they should have done more movies before Justice League, or even having the concept of Justice League being released. Because there's a lot of missed opportunities here. Like, you know, Bizarro from Zod's body, you know, Bizarro is sort of a zombie, so why not? I mean, Bizarro in another continuity somewhere in the world. It was like from his own planet. That was called Bizarro World, where it was pretty much just Earth, but, you know, zombie versions. Weird. So I don't know. Maybe they'll pull that off for this one. But yeah, I really feel like Doomsday was sort of like a bit too much, too early. I feel. Of course, you know, yeah, just for future purposes, like now, you know, we don't really care. Lobo can just, you know, he basically is sort of like Deadpool. He's just a mercenary, a gun for hire. He can do pretty much anything. Um, yeah, I feel like he can pretty much do anything really. Um, and what else? The best solo Batman movies is talking about the Joker and Arkham Asylum setting and all that. So yeah, Harley Quinn movie. There's supposed to be a Harley Quinn movie again, just like Deadpool. She can pretty much do anything really. Booster Gold, since Booster Gold is more of a since he's more of a time traveler, I think like Booster Gold. If they do end up doing a Booster Gold movie, it'll be after Justice League 2, because you know in the comics, Batman dies via Omega beams by Darkseid, right? So if they kill off Batman in Justice League 2, and then Booster Gold is like the untitled film in 2019, November 1st, 2019, you could do the whole Return of Bruce Wayne thing. Of course, it would be more of a Batman movie, but you know, you could focus more on Booster Gold going through the times trying to look for Batman and sort of like finding out what Batman did over the course of his escapades in those different time periods and everything. He can be accompanied by Superman and I think Red Robin. If they do Red Robin, maybe not. If they do him, yeah. If they don't do him, some other character maybe, I don't know. And then what other one was there? There's a Suicide Squad sequel. Again, I don't really know what they could pull off with Suicide Squad. I'm assuming they might debut Killer Frost in this one, and she could do like what she did with King Shark. So like, you know, Killer Croc in Suicide Squad was sort of like, I want to be accepted, I want to be considered beautiful and everything. I want to be actually be like people to like me. So you could pull that off with like Killer Frost, because in Assault on Arkham she was doing pretty much the same thing. With Killer Shark? Killer Shark. I think his name was Killer Shark, dude. No, it was King Shark. There we go. And she pretty much did the same thing with King Shark and Assault on Arkham, so she might as well do the same thing here with good old Killer Croc. Possibly Black Spider to replace Katana. and maybe a new character. Maybe introduce Deathstroke, and then that would tie in with the Cyborg movie. But yeah, I think that's it for those movies. They canceled or just projects they don't care about. Hawkman, Swamp Thing, something. Since he's more of a Justice League Dark thing, he might not. He definitely will not get his own movie. Hawkman, I don't know. My mom just put the movie on louder, so yeah. Green Arrow has Arrow, so that's not something they'll do. Probably like a television special, but yeah, Hawkman and the Hawkman. I'm not sure what they could do. And Swamp Thing, he's gonna be in Justice League Dark, so might as well, right? Uh, yeah, but that's really it for DCEU stuff, to be honest. Oh my god. Alright. I'm back for fourth time. Alright, so now I'm talking about my last subject, which is, of course, second year of Gametroller Prime. As this was the 1 year anniversary, this means that tomorrow will be the start of year 2, which means that I have to talk about it. So first off, my goals. At the moment, I have 4,000 plus views. Hopefully by next year, my second year 2 goals is to get 9,000 views. I'm not going to say 10,000 because I feel like that would be impossible, but at least 9,000 views for year 2. I want to get, I don't know, I've got 30 subs. I want at least 100 subs. And for one video independently, I want 1,000 views on a single video. That's sort of my goals for year 2. What I'm going to be doing for year 2, what I have planned. Of course, year 2 will be PlayStation 4 time. PlayStation 4 is going to be a fun time to have that. Hopefully my channel will start booming after it. Lots of things I have planned for year 2. Using my PS4, of course. A lot of my videos, a lot of my series will get an overhaul, a bit of a change in format. I won't be using the image on screen thing as much anymore. I'll mainly be using gameplay, unless it's like completely unrelated gameplay to the actual subject, or the length or whatever. I don't know what else I could do. I'm gonna, once I actually get games, I'll start doing walkthroughs on games, and then for like 2K17, once I get 2K17, I'll be doing Universe Mode and My Career Series, separately, of course, and then, like, if I have a game, I'll do a walkthrough of it. Of course, 2K, My Career and Universe Mode will be like overarching, like it would go over the entire year. Because there's a lot of stuff I can do. And walkthroughs of games I'll just do, at the side of Universe Mode. Well, not at the side. They'll be the main thing in the Universe Mode, and my career will be at the side, but you get what I'm saying. So, like, at least 3 series of stuff overall. A couple, like, impressions series where I'll be doing an impressions video of a game. Maybe, I'm not sure, because I'm not going to get that many games. Honestly, it's just like, the rate of games I might get will be faster, but considering I haven't gotten a game since, like, November last year, that might, like, that rate isn't, I don't feel is going to be increased much. So, like, No Man's Sky, that's a good game to do, like, a series on, a special walkthrough across. Because it might take a few months to complete, and of course that would help, longevity and everything until I get a new game and all that kind of stuff. So, a lot of stuff I have planned. Free games Friday, stealing everything from Cuba. Free games Thursday, free games Saturday. I don't know. Like, I have a special week where I only do like free games that I get off of PSN. So like, free demos or just free games, I guess. Not for like PlayStation Plus, but just the PlayStation Store. What kind of free games they have? All right, so accidentally cut off the video there. I was talking about impressions. What else was I talking about? Free games. Yes, free games I get from PSN. I'll do like a special day for that because there aren't gonna be that many. It's gonna be a relatively short series, but it's gonna be a fun series nonetheless. I don't really know. Countdowns. My current series like concepts, countdowns. Um, just the miscellaneous stuff. Miscellaneous stuff is gonna be a little bit more often. I feel now. Like a lot of my stuff is miscellaneous. It's just like it's not really part of a series. Hopefully, by the time I actually get my PS4, there will be a lot more series coming up. I'm not sure what else I could possibly do using my PS4. Maybe a. I was thinking. No, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, I honestly feel like that's it for sort of year two. I'll get to what my plans are for year two once I actually get my PS4 and a couple games and stuff. So yeah, a couple of game series, a couple of overhauls on my current series. Um, that's basically it for year two. Of course, my goals. I think that covers everything for year two. Hopefully, it'll be a much better year. So I won't get copyright strikes like next week or something like last year with Konami, and I'll actually be able to put some good stuff up during the Q4. So yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna get the PS4. Probably October around my birthday, so that time, and then like I'll get 2K17 like probably in November. I know it doesn't come out in November; it comes out like early October, but whatever. But yeah, that's it for this video, and that's it for the podcast, and that's it for year one. First year of Gametroller Prime over. Last few words of the first year of Gametroller Prime. It's been pretty fun. Can't wait to continue with year two, and yeah. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the podcast. If you did, hit that like button. Comment if you have some ideas for series and stuff I could do. And subscribe if you're excited for year two. Yeah, so that's it for this video. If you liked it, comment and subscribed. You, sir, are a true game troller. And yeah, hopefully you guys will be are hyped as I am for year two. Troll on, baby.
They wanna talk, well what they talking about? I see them running their mouth, but they ain't talking loud. I'm taking over the game, now let me show you how. I'm taking over the game, now let me show you how. Take a look in my eyes, got them shook when I rise. Got the game on lock, I came to the